understand? Because sometimes
Exactly.
feminism can be extreme,
Mhm.
and like we see a lot of white women
Yes.
or women that live abroad, with the whole feminist thing.
Right.
So maybe you want to explain what
What
you
I
really
mean.
mean by that.
Absolutely. And that's why I prefaced it by saying I'm a Pan-African feminist. So I am African first before I am a feminist. So there is the idea that feminism is Eurocentric, it is Western, it only carries Western ideals and ideology. And that's not true. African women have our own definition of what it means to be female, what it means to be a woman, what the empowerment of a woman looks like. And we experience it every day. If we look at our mothers, we look at our grandmothers, there are so many things about them that shows that these are strong women. It may not look like what the West shows us or look like what we see on television, but it is real. I don't know how many of us read Joys of Motherhood by Buchi Emecheta. Can we remember the character in that book? What does that woman typify to us? That's a woman that went against all odds, against cultural barriers, and found a voice for herself from a very difficult situation. So that is what feminism is to me. It is the empowerment of women. And that's why when you told me about this topic, I said, yes, I'm happy to talk about this. I also consider myself an activist because I'm also a woman who has gone through different forms of injustice. And have
I want you to celebrate that. Because we go through injustices. Women, I feel like women go through a lot of injustices that we don't get to talk about these things. I mean, you can imagine a woman is raped and you go to the police station and then the police people are saying, okay, but you said why you dress like this?
That's right.
Is that what we're talking about? You get what I mean? So women go through a lot of injustices and all of that. So I relate with that. Okay, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Okay, so, Sister Peace, just come straight to the podium. Yes, can you celebrate our accountant? She's a businesswoman in the city. That's not how you're celebrating my guest. That's how you're celebrating my guest. Yes. So, Sister Peace, I didn't read her resume because, but no problem. Next time, we'll read it. So, God bless you. Thank you for coming. All right.
Yes. So so that's the reason why I also consider myself an activist and a human rights defender, and that's why I have chosen this path. So in my day-to-day work, what I do is I work with people who need their rights defended in different forms of injustices, from sexual and gender-based violence to police brutality. So by police brutality, I mean you're accosted by the police, you're assaulted, you're harassed, you're brutalized. And we know that this happens very often and also happens to young people. Brutality can also happen in the hands of non-state actors, so it's not just the police that can violate you. Some of us might have seen the video of the core member in Anambra State who was assaulted by the vigilante group. So those are people we call non-state actors. They are not necessarily members of the Nigerian police or army, but they are sanctioned by the state. So they have the authority of the state, and they also violate us as women. So there are a variety of various forms of rights violations that I work with lawyers, activists on the ground, journalists to defend those rights. Specifically, I work at the intersection. So basically, the use of video and technology in defending those rights. So the video you saw online, part of my role is to train people on how to film incidents of violations in the most effective way so that it can bring about justice, either in the court of law, in the way that it is
So
admissible
that
as
evidence is not lost
so that evidence is not
in
lost.
the process.
So in a nutshell, that's
okay. Can we celebrate? Can we celebrate that? All right. So I want us to. Okay, let's hear Sister Peace. Maybe you should introduce yourself because I wasn't able to read out your resume. But she's talking. We're talking about why women fail in business and career. So you are talking about business. She's talking about career. So I want us to strike that balance. So can you just introduce yourself, maybe in just 2 minutes to us?
All right, thank you very much. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Some people say jack of all trade, but that's not what I am. I specialize in everything I do. So I'll start by saying I'm an accountant by training. I'm an accountant, I'm an entrepreneur for more than 21 years.
Wow.
Yes, 21 years. So I started my first company registered in 2003. So they count, that's more than 21 years actually. So that's one. And then I'm also a network marketing professional. You may not know that about me. I'm actually a certified network marketing professional. I've done an 18-month course with Al Calvin in the US for 18 months. So there was a time I was also dealing with that. But I believe whatever you want to do, you need to be trained for it. All right? So that has always been my belief. That is one part of the business I do. And another one would be a fashion designer. Because that 2003 I'm talking about is actually my fashion house, Peace Limited. So that's when I started my fashion house. So I'm also a fashion designer. And of course, what I'm wearing is my work. Thank you very much. The other part about me, of course, being an accountant, I'm also curious about what is going on in the industry. So I'm also into fintech and blockchain technology. And that in that industry, I've existed for like 10 years. So they can say jack of all trades. But then I'm also
it comes together somehow.
Yes, exactly. So that's just a little brief about who I am and what I've been doing through the years.
Okay.
And then why women fail in business. The first thing I want to say is most women don't have self-esteem. They don't believe in themselves. That's why they fail.
Okay.
Because
but that's just one of such things. But I have a few things I've listed here,
okay.
which I want us to work with it just because of time, so that we don't overstretch. But you are talking about self-esteem, all right? So maybe you talk about that, and then let's see.
Okay. So the major reason is they don't truly believe in
themselves.
So because if you look at a girl child, most girl child just think I need to go to school, then come out and get married. So they're always looking for a man to save them from their financial situation. So most times they don't really take their business seriously. They don't give it what it takes. Because that deep inside there's lack of self-belief. Deep inside. So
or
they
maybe
try.
Can you say there's a plan B?
Something like that.
Because sometimes when you have a plan B,
you cannot focus.
Yes, it begins to look as if but if you put everything, you're all in one basket, you are able to give it your all. But when you have at the back of your mind that okay, maybe there's somebody somewhere, there's a man there.
It's lack of self-belief too, because you don't believe you can be that billionaire. You don't believe you can be that millionaire
without the man.
Yes, so you're always watching
celebrate that point. I think that's a good point. Yes,
they are easily
self-belief.
They're easily distracted. So you can see they are there, but they are distracted. That's why you see even some married women, their husband set them up on the business, but they are not focused because they don't really believe they can make it. There's that fear deep inside that they have not worked on. So that has really affected the girl's child in making progress in business. But once you have a mindset that you can do all things through Christ, it strengthens you. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman, you excel in whatever you do, because the Bible says whatever your hands finds to do it with all your might.
All your mind.
Exactly.
Okay, so let me come to Dr. Again. Why do women fail in career? Just one. I have other things I've listed, but let's talk. Let's hear you in a nutshell.
Yes. So
or pick your best points out of everything in your mind. Maybe pick out the most critical thing why women fail in career?
Okay. I think we should first start by saying that women contribute significantly to society, including the economy of society, and there's many examples. So I know some of us, when we hear this topic, why do women fail? I really want us to understand that this is not that all women fail in business, or there is a high propensity for women to fail in business. It's just us narrowing down to make sure that more of us succeed. I would put this into like two broad buckets. So the first is there are structural barriers that cause women to fail. And then there are
Structural barriers.
internal barriers. So by structural, like structural cultural biases, this is external of you as a human being. And then there is the internalized. And if you just give me some time to break that down. So when I say cultural or structural barriers, what do I mean? Number one, patriarchy and gender norms. We live in a world where there are certain gender expectations of us. So even as women with our ambition and aspirations, there is still the expectation that we must fulfill some gender roles without the adequate support. So you start off at the point of the girl child. So the girl child and the boy child, they both go to school. But when they come back home, the responsibility of caring for the home often lies with the girl child. So that is where that imbalance starts to tip, right? We also see that leadership is still considered masculine, is still considered male. So when a woman is in leadership, and I can tell you that because I am a woman in leadership in my sector, and there is an expectation of how I should show up. So if I show up really assertive, I am considered aggressive. If I show up as collaborative, I am considered a softie. I am somebody who talks slowly and softly, naturally. It doesn't mean that I am not decisive, but there is a stereotype that people come in as they meet me. Oh, she's very soft spoken. She's a pushover. I can do as I like with her. And that causes a barrier. And this is not unique to me.
Does this happen often? Is it the men that bring this vibe?
It's not
Or
just
even,
men.
or even women.
Even
some women feel
it's a
like you can't even control me. You can't.
It's a structural problem that we understand.
So even if you are leading women, the women want you to be tough. They want you to be hard.
Yes, there is that expectation, and it is nuanced, right? It is a very subjective conversation. So I give you an example. Sometimes I find it just as difficult to get women to listen to me as much as I find it with men. But let a male leader come. The women are very submissive. Immediately they defer, because culturally the expectation is that their leader should be a man. So I am an anomaly. I'm not fitting that mold. It doesn't mean they are bad. It is conditioning, societal conditioning.
Yes, the way we've been conditioned.
That we have to break free. And the first point is knowledge. And then I would say that another barrier is access to finances. Women, unfortunately, you might have an excellent business idea and you're trying to get capital. It is 6 times as hard for a woman to get a loan from the bank than it is for a man, especially when you are a single woman. If you do not have the backing of a male figure, whether that is a father or a husband. Even culturally, how many women have access to inheritance? It is still an issue. So even access to land, the right to land, which
the
is
women
a
don't used
huge
to,
form of
they don't used
capital.
to
Yes, they
inherit.
tell you you can't inherit even in your father's house. So these are the structural and cultural barriers that we have to confront.
Celebrate that. So we have to confront it.
Yes.
So how do we confront it?
So the first part is knowledge.
Okay.
So when you understand that these are the barriers that I am facing, then you now ask yourself, so these are systems. What strategies can I put in place?
Okay, let me even ask this before you go ahead. So this experience, does it happen just in Africa, or I know you're widely traveled? Do you get to experience this same thing abroad?
So for some of them, the patterns are very similar.
Okay.
For others, there are variations. So patriarchy is alive and well everywhere in the world. In America, in the UK, it is there to varying levels. And then there is intersectionality. So what do I mean? I am not just a woman, I am a black woman from Africa. So the bias that I experience in the US, for example, it's not just because I'm a woman. It's because I am a woman who is black, and then a woman who is from Africa. So I'm not African American, I'm not British American. So there are layers to it. And then I'm a dark-skinned woman. So there are various levels of that bias that I experience. But I'm not sharing all of this for us to feel hopeless. Like there is no way around it. It's for us to have information. And maybe I will just go a little into the internalized barriers. And she touched on it. She said, the lack of belief in yourself. There is a way the system would tell you so much of what your value is that you begin to believe that as your true value. So I don't think I can be a leader. Women are not leaders. So let me leave that for the man or for my male associates. You know, there is also the challenge of the fear of being judged. I think more times
Being
women.
judged. Okay, hold it there. Let me also hear from Sister. Please, can you celebrate that brilliant? Wow. Okay, so I want us to look at some areas why women don't succeed. One of them is the drive. So I want you to talk about driving a business. Driving a business. We'll look at laziness in women as well. Yes.
All right, great. So when it comes to drive, I think the foundation matters a lot. It has to do with you being passionate about what you do. So most women may just want to copy what somebody else is doing. They have not taken time to find out what am I really talented at or what am I good at. So because they were just copying what Miss Joy is doing or what Alice is doing, so that drive naturally is not there. You know, they don't give it what it takes. You know, I was discussing with a lady some time ago. She was like, I've actually learned how to sew, but I can't sew. I can't get myself to stay to make a dress. I told her, I don't know what your problem is. You're not passionate about it. I don't feel stressed when I'm designing. I enjoy what I'm doing. So I can stay a whole day in the workshop. But if you're feeling stressed, then there's something fundamentally wrong, which means you're doing what you're not passionate about. So most times drive comes with passion.
With passion.
Exactly.
Celebrate that. Celebrate that. So, how do we identify passion? How can you say what will make me know now that I'm passionate about something? How can I tell that this is my passion?
All right. So your passion or what you're good at is what you can do with grace. And most times is
With
what we take,
ease.
yes, is what we take for granted most times. So if you really want to know, listen to what your friends and your loved ones are telling you. So most times we overlook our passion because it comes so easily. So what's your grace to do? That's your passion.
Celebrate that, yeah, celebrate. Because you see, this ease of a thing is like, for me, one of the things that is easy for me is to convince people. So it comes very easily. Now follow come. So, but sometimes I just feel you don't even feel the need to use it
Exactly.
or to harness it.
Exactly. It comes with ease, so
You just trash it.
Exactly.
Like, this is nothing.
Or meanwhile, that's
So would you say that did God create everybody to have something Did everybody come with a gift? Or are some people more gifted than some?
Absolutely. Both is absolutely.
Okay.
If you
Can you share
remember
that?
the story of the talent in the Bible, to some God gave one, to the other person God gave five. So it's now left for you to discover yours and trade with it, to locate it. So to some is given one, to some is given to some is given more. So some people come gifted with a lot of giftings. Some may just be one, but whatever it is, utilize
You have something there.
Exactly. Everybody has a gift.
Celebrate that, celebrate that. It's only people in front that are clapping. Or you people are on your phone. I used to see his phone. Oh. Hello. Those at the back. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I want you to talk about consistency and staying power.
Great.
Because you talked about jack of all trades, and sometimes we have people who feel, okay, I'm doing this thing and it's not working. So let me just do the next thing. All right, and the next thing. But you have been in business for 21 years and you are still in that same business. So talk about staying power and consistency.
Great.
And what does it do? What's the advantage?
Beautiful. Normally they say Rome was not built in a day. You know, when you find what you need to do, the next thing that is required is you must do it all with strength. Because it's
When you find what you need to do, you must do it with all your strength.
give it what it takes.
Give it what it takes.
It's just a matter of time. You get there. You know, it's a line upon line, precept upon precept unto a perfect day. Even professionally speaking, there's a certain number of hours that is required for you to become a professional in a given field of training. So you need to put in those hours. So most people just give up along the way, not because they're not good at what they do, not because they just feel that I've not seen the results, so it's not working. No, it's a process. It's like refining gold. It's a process. You need to pass through that process for it to be fine-tuned. There was a lady, she saw me, she was like, I wish I could be self-employed. And I asked her a question, very simple question, why do you want to be self-employed? I said, I'll have time. And I started laughing. I said, how many hours do you work in a day? She was like, maybe 8. I said, let me tell you something, news flash. If you're working 8 hours and you're starting up your own business, you're going to do times 3. She's like, what? I said, yes, you're going to do times 3. Because you need to build. It's like digging a foundation of a skyscraper. You need to dig. So don't come in with the mindset of I want to start this thing because I want to run away from work. No.
Because when you become an entrepreneur, you will even put in more hours than the regular person.
Exactly. So like they need to give you what it takes. So if they're coming with that notion, that's why I want to be an entrepreneur, they have missed it all together. That's not what it should be. So that staying power, consistency is what gives you the prize gold.
Celebrate. Because I see a lot of young people, they just feel like, okay, if I start this thing now, let me just say, maybe 1 year, if it doesn't work, or 6 months, let me jump to the next thing, and jump to the next thing. And before you know it, 10 years has passed, and you have not really done
or that is
become an expert.
People don't even take you serious anymore. By the time you touch these people don't take you serious. There are some people that are actually watching you. Maybe your prospective investors.
Are you people hearing what she's saying? The people will not even take you seriously.
That's the worst part about it. They won't take you serious. Like, this one is not serious. I heard some people come to do
today you are selling Maggi, tomorrow you are selling soap, next tomorrow you are a mechanic.
I have some people come to do business with me now because they have seen consistency in me. You know why I want to do this stuff too? You have been consistent over the years. So there are some people like that, they are watching. That maybe that investor you are looking for is actually watching to see, do you have the staying power? And then another thing is excellence of spirit. Excellence of spirit. Some people just feel this is what I'm paid for, I can't go an extra mile. No, it's your signature you're putting on your work. It's your signature. Because you don't know where that work is going to and who is going to see it. So yeah, everything you do must represent you properly. That excellent spirit must always be there.
Celebration. Okay, so let me come to Dr. Nkem. how are career people expected to behave around the workplace? Because there's a certain way, I believe. How can a woman be professional in what she does, uh, both in business and even in the workplace?
Yes, so I think she touched on a lot of it. You
Okay.
have to be consistent. But I think let us go back
But does
a little
consistency
bit.
work in the workplace? Because sometimes people change jobs.
It does work in the workplace.
Like if you, maybe let's say you were in Zenith Bank and you now say, okay, no, I want to now move to UBA, and after 2 years you say, no, I want to now, they are offering me something in Sky Bank, let me move there, and like that. So
Yeah.
does
So what
that
I mean,
work?
so what I mean by consistency, so it's different spaces but similar value. So by consistency, I mean consistency in the work that you are doing within that organization. So for every job, there is a job description, right? So there is the expectation of how you would carry out that work. So you want to be consistent in your delivery of that job. You want to be focused, right? Um, why I wanted to go a little bit backwards is we're talking about passion and talent, and those two things are very important. But training is really at the heart of it. Preparation will eat talent for breakfast any day, anytime. So that thing
Hold
that
it there. Training and preparation will eat talent for breakfast. My God. So even if you are talented, if I'm more prepared than you, I go win you.
that's correct.
My God.
That's correct. You would defeat me, I will fall flat on my tummy. So it is, as a career person, you must not stop developing yourself. So you ask yourself, how do I remain at the cutting edge of this profession? What are the courses that I need to take so that I can also be respected as an expert and remain relevant in that field? So training
Celebrate that, celebrate that.
so training is very important. The other thing to be mindful of is distraction. Don't keep chasing the next shiny thing. And this happens a lot to us.
Don't keep chasing the next shiny thing.
Yes, it happens to us a lot as career people. So sometimes career advancement does not necessarily equal, especially when you're starting out, financial advancement. So sometimes you start a role and somebody tells you that there is this job and they are paying 2 times more than what you are currently earning. So I give you an example. You're a finance officer within a particular sector. So let us say within the NGO space. So let me use the NGO space because that's where I operate. You're a finance officer there and you're an accountant. You are trained as an accountant or you're trained as a finance person and you're earning 150,000 naira. But somebody then comes and tells you, Shell is looking for a receptionist, or they are looking for a welfare person, and they are going to pay 450,000 naira. Or somebody is looking for a PA, you're going to pay 450,000 naira, and then you immediately say, this place they are paying more, let me go. Sometimes it might be a good decision, but most times what you have done is you've stagnated yourself. In that your finance officer, you can go to the highest point of that career. So you keep developing as a financial expert. And so in 10 years, you are globally recognized. There's some global position that they're looking for, a strategic, financial, whatever, they come to you. But when you go as a receptionist, is it a transferable skill? How do you move?
What's the potential there?
Yes, how do you move from a receptionist? What else can you be in another sector, in another organization? You just chased money. You did not think long term.
You didn't chase value.
career progression.
Mm.
So this is a very simple example, but just so that you understand the concept. So distractions, don't look to chase the next shiny thing. I give you an example in my office. When I started out, I started as an intern. And I was overly qualified for that internship position. But I knew that the career I wanted to stay in communications. That is my expertise because communications is transferable to any sector. A position opened up as an education specialist. I did not apply because how many organizations have the post of education specialist? So I'm building irrelevant career experience.
Something that will eventually lead to a dead end.
So you have to be very, very strategic about how you move in the career space. The second part about distraction is internal distraction. Office politics is everywhere. You cannot run away from office politics, but don't get trapped in that office politics. Understand how it's happening, but don't get into it. So by understanding, I mean know where power lies. That is something you have to know. Know where power lies. Know where the weaknesses are. Identify what your strength is. What value do I bring to this organization that makes me indispensable? And continue to advance that. But by the time you start doing office politics, playing games, gossiping, and I'm not perpetrating the stereotype that women are gossip because men too gossip. But it's so easy to get trapped in, this person said this, that person said that. You get distracted, and when it comes time to cut people off, you will be the first on the chopping block.
Chai, did you hear what? They will chop your head off. This thing you're saying, Ma, is very critical, even in the business place. Like I find a lot of business women that gossip with their clients. So maybe I came to so close with you, and somehow we are friends, and then you are already telling me about another client, and telling me about her marriage, and telling me about things wey no concern me normally. You get it? And in the office, we see that a lot. Women, chop. And from what you are saying, if I'm in that cartel, that means when they are looking for people to lay off, I'm the first.
Or you quickly go and join alliances in the office. Because that happens a lot. Different alliances. You go and join alliance. The moment your alliance is not, the Pharaoh that did not know Joseph will come. And you will be so be non-aligned. Just do your work.
One man army.
Yeah, do your work. You can be friendly with everyone, be good intention, but do your work. And you know what? Even those in alliances are watching, because they're like, this person is a person of integrity. We should keep that lady on board. So these are very important tips.
So even though they may not like you, but because you are very good in that work that you do, they have no choice but to even recommend you.
Yes.
When a new boss comes, they'll say, let this person stay.
Let this person stay. So these are,
I want us to celebrate that point. That's an amazing point. So stay focused on the job. Make sure you are very good at that thing you do so that you are indispensable. There's something my pastor used to say. He would say, nobody despises a relevant thing. You can't despise a relevant person. And I think let's talk about that even in business. In business, when somebody is very good at what she does, she's very, very intentional. She crosses the T's and dots her I's, and she's excellent. She has integrity. What does that count for?
That counts for money and wealth. How is saying that says, how will I put this now? That your value in the marketplace is what gives you money. Your value
in the marketplace.
Yes, what do you bring to the table? That's your worth. So
Your worth.
yes, so what you are able to produce, that is your worth. That's why you see some designers are charging 1 point something million naira. Some are struggling to even
50K.
exactly to even collect 30. So it's your value in the marketplace. So when your work speaks for you, it speaks volume. That's why you can say a work of an artist is like, what kind of painting is this? But it's a value. You understand what I'm saying? So
But
that's
I
what
think
clients pay for.
experience also adds to that.
Yes, experience does
Because you can't just start, even if I'm very good and I start now, I cannot say my cloth now will be 1 million.
What you
It would have taken some years
It will take some
of
years.
staying power.
But what you need to do is that a client must be kept. Some people are just after the money, not the value. Value is much more than money. Value, when we say value in business, what's your value in the marketplace? It's much more than money. Are you being courteous? Are you nice to your client? Do you go the extra mile to satisfy your client? So it's not just about the money you're charging. It's about the value, how you make them feel when they transact with you. Do they want to come back? Was it a nice experience? Someone walk into your office, how did the person feel when the person left? Was it a memory? Is it a place the person wants to go back? I've been to places like that, a shop, I told myself I can never go back there because I had a nasty experience. So when you say value in the marketplace, it's not just about the charges, it's not just about the price, it's not just about my clothes is cheap or it's not cheap. It has to do with the entire package. How did you make your clients feel? Are they coming back?
Celebrate that, celebrate that. Attitude is everything. Yes, there's a book I recommend, Attitude is Everything. I have been to places where, just like she said, I don't even want to go back. I don't feel good. And I have also recommended people to businesses, and the feedback I got was not nice. That this person behaved, this person you recommended to me, this is how he behaved, this is how she treated me, and I'm not happy about that. I want you to talk
customer satisfaction. That's why they say the customer is king. It's not that it's the money, but the customer is king. So when you're in business, that should be your goal. How to always satisfy your customer. Because it's not about the marketing. Some people spend so much money in marketing, but they are keeping ratios low. They don't retain the client.
What is your retaining percentage?
It's key. So I may have 10 customers and all my test customers keep coming back. I'm doing great. So it means I'm going to stand the test of time. And then those are the ones that will recommend your type for you. So they will naturally do the marketing. So most people focus on marketing, and they don't keep their client. If you see some people, they are busy selling, God forbid something happens, they have lost all those clients, or they need to change location, nobody's following them. So it's key. Customer retention is key in any business. So that is what makes you grow over the years.
Wow. Please celebrate that. Celebrate that. How many people are we retaining? Who are those coming back to say, I love this, I love how you treated me. And you see, talking about treating people, I've had situations where a tailor spoiled my dress, but because of the way she handled it and begged me and apologized, I forgave her and still continued going back there. But there are some people, even after they spoil your dress or you gave them something to do, they didn't do it well, they will still abuse, they will still give you an attitude. And I think that is really common with women, and I want you as women in business to really watch that part. Sometimes we make mistakes, like even when I was in business, you could make mistake, but you are able to handle it with care. That please, ma'am, I'm really sorry, this will not happen again. This was the reason, but I take responsibility. You know, you are petty, and even the next day you still call the person that please, I just want to be sure that you are not still angry. You know, but women, some of us, we have nasty attitude. Some women have very bad attitude, and I think we need to look at that.
let me just add a little to it because this is
Okay.
actually common.
Okay.
And no matter the amount you make, let's say you started small, now you're now a millionaire. You can never be bigger than your client.
Yes.
Some people, a client walking, they are crossing their leg, waiting for their staff to attend to the client. That's a no-no. That is a no-no. Your clients should be more comfortable dealing with you than your staff. Most of my clients prefer to deal with me than my staff. Because once you walk in, I'm not waiting for my staff, I'm the one
Some people
welcoming
will
you.
tell you that they are trying to put structure in place so that when I'm not there, the business can go on without me.
Your staff will do
So
what
do you call that structure?
Your staff will do what you do. That's what you don't know. Because they are watching, they will definitely do. If you are the type that always welcome, with time they will do the same thing. When you are not there. You understand what I'm saying? So never ever get bigger than your client. That's another mistake people make in business. Never be bigger than your client.
Celebrate that, oh. Celebrate that, oh. Talking about never be bigger than your client, there are times that you may even have a client that right now, and you see in this Abuja, we must be very careful. You may have a client that right now she doesn't have the kind of money you are looking at, oh. But give her some 3, 4, 5 years, she don't become millionaire, oh. So somebody that used to buy things from you, maybe 50K, is now able to buy stuff of 1 million because she has grown. But because now you are now bigger than her, when she becomes big,
So look for somebody else.
that's it.
So no customer retention.
Please, let's celebrate them. Let's celebrate them. All right, I want us to talk about, and this applies to both ways, both business and career. But let's start with you. Let's talk about this mindset that women have, that if I don't sleep with somebody, I can't get by, or if I don't hustle in a certain way or play politics in a certain way in the office, maybe I won't get promoted and all of that. I want you to talk about that mindset and how do we break it? How do we break off from such mindset?
I think it's a mindset that we must break. Because what you're talking about now, you're talking about values and principles. What I would say is do the right thing, even if nobody is watching. And even if it is hard to do that, it is true that because you are going on the straight and narrow, it might take you a little longer. But it is not how far, it is how well. Over time, you would have built a strength of character, confidence, and the respect of your peers that would give you that stay power. But if you're looking for shortcuts, you're saying, I need to find somebody who will cut corners for me. So whether that is, okay, I need to sleep with the boss, or I need to cheat, compromise on my values, do cut corners, it is only short term. If you're sleeping with the boss, it is not just that others would not respect you, even the boss himself would not respect you. When the time comes to appoint someone that would do the work to elevate somebody, it may not be you. It may not be you. They would want to keep you at that level so that you stay perpetually dependent on them. And news travels very quickly. You are earning a reputation for yourself within your sector that makes it difficult for you to even evolve. How many times have we met people who say, I did this in my early years, and now I'm a different person, but I just can't shake that impression away, because everywhere I step into, the next boss wants to sleep with me. Because he said, but I know that you gave.
You were sleeping, you give this or that man, you don't want to give me.
Why don't you want to give to me?
Hey!
So it is very important for us to have personal principles and values. And it also comes down to us believing in ourselves. If you believe in your worth, you believe in your capacity, and you do the work, because at the end of the day, the job has to get done. Somebody has to do the job. So if you are the one that can do the job, they will keep you. And it's only a matter of time. You will grow. Another thing you can do to be strategic is to identify mentors. Identify mentors, identify networks. So you don't need, because while you're exchanging that favor, is because you want them to promote you, right? What is the workaround? Where are the networks of like-minded people like myself? Where are the networks of young professionals, young entrepreneurs, young lawyers in Abuja? And a network that is intergenerational. So it's not just young people like myself, it's also people who are a little older, who have access that I can leverage. And then there are two things, and maybe I will end with this. So I spoke about mentors, but there's also a place for a sponsor, a career sponsor. So sometimes we conflate it. We want our mentor to do the work that a sponsor will do, or we want a sponsor to do the work that a mentor will do. They are two different things. So a mentor is someone who is at a point in your career that is both aspirational and inspirational for you. So where do I see myself in 10 years? I see myself as um, a global human rights leader that is top of mind to the average person in the world. So who is that person that typifies, that has all of those things that I can have access to?
And he's also black, and he's also a woman.
Yeah, it's all of that. And so I establish contact with that person. And that contact might be personal, if I have the opportunity to have them personally, or vicarious, like I read their books, I watch their videos, I see how they move, and I kind of pattern my life in a way that allows me to get there. So that's a mentor, that's their responsibility. A sponsor, on the other hand, is somebody who is interested and invested in your career growth, who is talking about you in tables where you are not there. Who is like, I know this lady, she can do this job, and I will vouch for her. That is a sponsor. And then you have to do the work to cultivate that relationship. So that is the way to second this sponsor and mentor can be a man and it can be a woman. But
the person is interested in you.
The person is interested and invested in you. But don't cross lines with them. If it's a man,
that's another thing.
Don't cross lines with them. Don't overstep your boundaries. Set very clear boundaries for yourself and be faithful to your boundaries. Because people will test your boundaries. Be very faithful to your boundaries. And if you are consistent, then people will respect you.
Celebrate them. I want us to look at this thing she talked about. How do we handle destiny helpers? How do we handle sponsors? Because many times I see women, and women, we have this problem. You go to somebody who is your destiny helper, but every time you are the one begging, give me, give me, give me. And sometimes the person that gets tired of you and probably just even blocks you. Or probably you call and he doesn't want to pick his call anymore. He doesn't even want to see you. These are the boundaries she's talking about. I want us to look at that also in business. Destiny, people who are like your destiny helpers in your business.
I would say once you have identified your destiny helpers, the main thing is service. It's service, that's the key. Most people don't like to serve. But I tell you, service can give you what 10 years of hard work will not give you. Service. So you need to serve them. It's not about what you can get from them, it's about what you can give to them. That makes a whole world of difference for them. Because they are used to people getting from them. But when you come around, I have people like that in business.
Yes.
I don't ask for things.
Mm-hmm.
They're the one that will call me because I serve them. I have ladies I carry handbags for. Once they come to them and say, Mommy, I'm carrying the handbags. I'm following you. I'm their little lapdog. You need to learn how to serve. Once you identify a mentor, someone you look up to in business, you need to serve. Because what that lady
And don't be going there beggarly.
No, we don't beg. You serve. They are the ones that will now start thinking what to do for you. It's like Nomi. Ruth served Nomi, and Nomi began to begin to think, what can I do for this lady?
Yes.
She has left everything. She followed me because of Ruth. I am who I am now. She started strategizing for Ruth, even without
Go to
Ruth
the
asking.
field, wash your face,
Yes.
put on a new garment.
He was telling her what to do. And she got her a husband. So when you identify your destiny helper, you need to serve. That's the way to get it done.
Kai, this one enter. Celebrate now. Kai. Do you love it?
I love it.
You see, this thing you are saying, man, is a big problem in Abuja. You go to your destiny helper, somebody that has capacity to give you a job of 100 million. But because you are always going there to beg for small money, 50,000, 100,000, my house rent, sir, my house rent. The day you ask him, the day they even promote that man and put him in an office where he can help you, he will not help you. Because he has put you on that class. You are a parasite. He has put you on that class that she comes for stipends. So he will treat you as a stipend person. He will treat you as, take for suya, take 3,000, take 10,000, take 50K. He will never, even when he has the capacity to give you a job of 100 million, he will not give you. And when you even now press him further, a time will come that man will block you. Women, we do these things often, and I want us to take note of it. Hallelujah. Can we celebrate Jesus? All right, we have just a few minutes. I want us to talk about how imbalance in homes, in marriage. Let me start from Dr. Nkem. How imbalance in marriage can affect your business. How does it affect business? How does it affect career?
Imbalance, you mean like troubles?
Troubles, yes. Troubles in marriage.
It affects.
Mm.
It does affect. It definitely affects both parties, but also more us as women, because we are our makeup is such that once there is no balance at home, then everything else suffers. Because in many ways we also draw our identity from the home, right? So for most women, if you ask them, describe yourself, look at the way I started. What did I say? I'm a mom.
Yeah.
That's how I describe myself. So and there are other people too, like they're a wife. So we tend to define ourselves based on our filial identities. So when that place,
Sorry, what do you mean by filial?
that's family, our family identity. So when there is an imbalance there, it affects everything else. For men, they are able to compartmentalize. Like, that is the home front, it ends in the home. Now I'm at the office, so I don't carry it over.
So they don't
here.
carry emotions.
For most of them,
So
they don't.
so would you say women are experts in carrying their emotions to the workplace?
Yeah, I think we are 360. We're complete people. Right? We're complete people. There is no separation. Our home life is in negotiation with our work life, with our spiritual life, everything, with our friendship, it's all together. So what we can then do is, how do we manage this better? There are times when, and I will say even with me, it happened with me, when I was going through a turbulent time in my life. And it was very difficult for me to maintain focus at the office, for me to even think about what's my 2, 3, 4 year plan. So, how do we manage this better? That suggestion or whatever that answer would be, it would differ from one woman to another. A strategy might be to compartmentalize, but there is a downside to that because something suffers when you compartmentalize. Something suffers. But it is for us to have that negotiation with ourselves. I'm at the office now. How do I show up here at the workplace? Even if I'm in a difficult situation, can I manage myself in a way that I don't go around talking to everybody in the office about, oh, my marriage is crashing? Because
That's a very good point.
lot.
That's a very good point. Sorry, ma. I want you to really dwell on that because we have issues where people just don't get over the issues they are dealing with, and so every time they see you, they are talking about it. They are talking
People who
about
can't
it.
help you.
Yes, and to people who can't help you.
So there is no value you get from that conversation.
But how does that even make your colleagues or friends see you? Yes.
So it adds no value to you. Instead, you make yourself a topic of office gossip, office conversation. And guess what? It is possible that you might be denied opportunities because of that perception. So I don't think she's coordinated right now. I don't think she's stable enough for us to give her this responsibility. I've seen it happen. If you had just kept your mouth shut and find other outlets for it. So that
like redefinition.
Like redefinition. So that
come and talk here. Don't talk in the office.
But there is also a way that we can be proactive. So how do we work to ensure that we reduce the chances of the imbalance happening at home as career women? There are many times that our job is so demanding, so also the home suffers. We neglect some of the ways in which we should show up at home. Sometimes we carry work home when that shouldn't happen. So we also have to set clear boundaries. What time is your boss calling you? Sometimes your boss has unfettered access to you. They can call you at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. You know, those are some of the things that we can manage better to reduce the chances of that imbalance happening at home. So if we're able to say, this is my job, it is very important to me, it gives me a sense of purpose. At the same time, this is my family. It is extremely important to me. It is exactly who I am. But I have to ensure that one doesn't suffer over the
1 hour. Move. So if you want to do that over time, then there must be plug-in time. So of course, like once you define the major things, and most people don't define their business hours and the days they work. Right now, I tell my people I don't work on Sunday, I don't work on Saturdays. My clients know I don't work on Saturdays. I say that's my family time. That's the time I have for myself to do one or two things, set my house in order. So once you establish those boundaries, it's easy for your client to flow into it.
Yeah. You know, I met a lady who just left a place she was working. So I saw her and I said, I heard you left that place you were working. And this was at about, I saw her that day at about 6 p.m. And she said to me, Ma, look at the time I'm closing now. She said, when you know me that time for that place, I feel close, they want me well to close by 6. So these are the issues. How do we treat our staff? Because she was saying, and truly, when I saw her for the first time, she was looking really good, really bright, really. I said, you're really looking good, or look. She said, because I'm happy. She said, if it's before now, I will follow Madam here, I will follow Madam there. In the night we are working, and they will still pay me that same stipend that they are paying me.
It's actually wrong. So your staff should not be your domestic staff. I know there are some employees that do that to their staff.
Yes.
So
your staff should not be your domestic staff. I hope we're listening.
It's very wrong to do that. Your staff remains your staff, your domestic staff remains. So you don't send your official staff to go and do domestic work for you. Like, okay, come and go to the market for me. That's wrong. Because that's not the job role there. So you need to manage that. And once you manage that, you see that you're going to have a system that thrive. Your staff will definitely stay.
Okay, I want you to quickly touch on how can we treat our staff better? How can we retain staff? Because many times women cannot, businesses don't have capacity to retain staff.
Okay.
And sometimes even some people will say, no matter how good I treated this person, she still left me. So how do we deal with that?
Okay, there are lots of factors involved, and I would say it starts from when you employ the staff.
Okay.
So there mustn't be unrealistic expectation. You need to spell things out. For example, if there are certain qualities you need in a staff, do not compromise if the person doesn't meet up that quality. Because with time, you're going to fire. If you want a staff that is eloquent, a staff that knows how to read and write, don't employ someone to fit a space that is not qualified for. I think that's the first step. So most people employ lower. And then with time...
Why do we employ lower? Because of the salary.
Yes.
Because maybe you can't pay.
Yes,
You can't pay.
You're thinking you're being wise, but you're not wise. Because that's being penny wise and foolish.
So it's better to go the extra mile and just pay that person.
Yes, that can do a job for you. So it's key. So when you have that kind of stuff, of course, the person to ask, when I do interview, I ask, what's your salary expectation? Most boss don't ask that. I ask. Because I want to know what to make that person comfortable working with me. So I always ask, what are your salary expectations? How much do you want to be making in a month? So that's key. And then respecting that boundaries I talked about is also key. When you're too demanding of your staff is also a problem because they have a life to live. I even ask you, do you go to church? Are you a worker in church? I ask all these questions when I'm doing interview because I want to know how the person can fit into my own schedule. This is the kind of person I can work with from the onset. So by the time you take your time to do the interview and bring up all these things, you know whether it's someone that can work with you or not, and for a long time.
Celebrate that too. Celebrate that. We can't exhaust it. Our time is fast spent. So, in a nutshell, okay, maybe we can take. Can we take one or two questions from the audience?
If you do not disengage quickly, you might run your business down. So that's it. Once you know that you have done all that you should do, and this person is not fitting in,
Disengage. In a nutshell, what can you say to women in business? How can you, I want you to encourage somebody that maybe right now she's not where she should be, and she's hopeful, she's having the assurance that someday, one day, I could even be like Dr. Nkem, and I could even be like Sister Peace, but right now there's nothing. What can you say to such a person?
I would say a few things. So the first is, if it's not working, go back to the drawing board. Go back to your plan. What do I need to tweak? Because going on the wrong road, no matter how far you go on the wrong road, it's not going to make it right. It would not make that wrong road right. So maybe you can turn around, and so it might look like I failed. Oh, this is businesses. That may be the most strategic decision to make in that moment. But you cannot know that if you do not go back to evaluate. Sometimes we do not do self-evaluation or the evaluation of our business. In our own sector, monitoring and evaluation is so important. Whatever intervention you make, you must monitor and evaluate it. So I would say the first step is evaluation. The second step is tenacity. Find that strength of character, find that fortitude to keep going. because there are a number of things that is like the Chinese bamboo tree. It's the tallest and strongest tree in the forest. For the first 5 years of the life cycle of that tree, it's under the ground. To the world, it looks like nothing is. Keep doing it afraid. Don't wait to be confident. Don't wait to have all your cards on deck. Keep going. The fourth thing I would say is forgive yourself quickly. Sometimes,
Yes, you've made mistakes.
yes, we dwell. I'm a failure. I can't do it again. We dwell on that mistake, and maybe for real, you actually made a mistake. Forgive yourself quickly, and it's not just in
Quickly
business.
is the word, I think.
Even in your personal life, forgive yourself quickly, because even you too, you are deserving of grace. You are deserving of love. You deserve to be on this earth, so you can forgive yourself. And then the final thing is be kind to yourself. Take care of yourself. Rest is an act of resistance, I always say. Sometimes we're so we're always, how are you today? I've been working since yesterday. I've just it's almost a badge of honor. Hardship is a badge of honor. It's not. Rest. Take time out to take yourself out if you can. To care for yourself. If you're into skincare, do skincare. No matter how, it doesn't have to be the high end. If you find something, sometimes as women, we can easily buy a gift for another person, or buy things for our children or for our friends. But for yourself, you feel this guilt. Why am I doing this for myself when I have all of these things to do? If you don't feed into yourself, you cannot show up as your perfect self. So these are the 5 things.
I can do all things
Through Christ that strengthens me.